Hi, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to solve Cambridge IGCSE Mathematics 4 Extended Variant 4 to October-November 2017. Question number 4 onwards. So we have a transformation question, and the first question is draw the image of flag F after translation by the vector 6, -2. So this is 6 and -2. This is your x and this is your y. Remember that if your x is positive, you're moving your coordinate to the right. If it is negative, you will move it to the left. If your y is negative, you're going to move it downwards. And if it is positive, you will move it upwards. So we have a positive 6. Choose one point. I'm choosing the point here, and I'm going to move it 6 to the right. Always the horizontal first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then move it down by 2. 1 and 2. And then you can look at the diagram and draw it directly. These are 3 squares and 2. So 3, 4, 5. And just copy the shape. This is your answer. Next we have rotation through 180 degrees about -2, 0. To solve this one, we need a tracing paper, and using the center -2, 0, this center, we will draw the transformation. Draw lines like that passing from the center, and then using the tracing paper, move this shape 2 times because it's 180. So this is how it will look after rotating 2 times for 180. Next, flag F after reflection in the line y is equal to x. For that, we will first draw the line y is equal to x. It means when x is 1, y is 1. When x is 2, y is 2. When x is 3, y is 3. Same on this side also. So let's draw that. So this is the line y is equal to x, and we have to reflect this shape here. Again, using the tracing paper is really a much easier way than actually plotting it. So I'm going to use a tracing paper. Draw it like that. Draw this diagram, and then just flip your image to this side. So this is how your image will look like after transformation. If you if you don't have a tracing paper, you can count also the squares and do it. So this is 5 here, you go 5 here, and then you draw your flag. Part B, we have been given 2 shapes, and we have to describe the transformation that maps triangle P onto triangle Q. We can see that the size is different. So it means that it's enlargement. That's the first thing. You get your 1 mark for writing enlargement. The next thing is you need to find the scale factor and you need to find the center. The scale factor is, this is 2 and the corresponding side is 1. So that is half, right? 1 is half of 2. To find the center, we are going to join the corresponding vertices and see where they meet. So this with this and this with this. As you can see, they meet at the point 0, 0. So that's your center. 0, 0. B2, find the matrix. Matrix has been removed from your syllabus, so we can ignore this question. Part C. The point A is translated to the point B by the vector 4u, 3u. And AB, this sign means the magnitude or the distance is 12.5. To find the magnitude or the distance, because we have to find the distance as A traveled from one point to another point. We use the formula magnitude is equal to square root x square plus y square. So we have that magnitude of AB, sorry about that, 12.5 is equal to square root 4u square and 3u square. 4u square, the square is for the 4 and the u. You will get 16u square plus 3u square will give you 9u square. As they are same, you can add them together. 16u square plus 9 square will give you 25u square. This square root, when we move to the other side, it will become square. So 12.5 square is equal to 25u square. 12.5 square will give us 156.25. This is a multiply, so I'm going to divide it by 25. And 156.25 divided by 25 will give us 6.25. That is u square. To find u, we are going to square root 6.25. And you have to write plus and minus, because it could be positive or negative. And you will get plus or minus 2.5. So that's our u. There was another way to solve this question, but we will not have written plus and minus. That's the reason I avoided that. I'll show you that from this point here. So if you had 12.5 and square root of 25 will give us 5. And square root of u will give you, because there's a u square, so that square root and the 2 will get cancelled, we will get u. So 12.5 divided by 5 is our u. 2.5 is u. You will only get a positive answer, not a negative answer. That's the reason we avoid using that method. Question number 5. We have been given an equation and we have to complete the table. In place of x, we are going to substitute 3 and we will get 3.15. All our numbers are rounded to one decimal place, so even we will round it to one decimal place. We'll get 3.2. When we substitute 3.5, we will get 5.19, which I will round it to 5.2. And now we have to plot the points. Remember that x is not equal to 0. And where is x not equal to 0? On the y-axis. So our graph will not touch the y-axis. Before we start plotting, let's see that 2 squares make 1. So 1 square is half. And on the y-axis, we have 5 squares, small squares between 1. So it means each square is 0.2. So the first point is 0.5 is negative 8. 0.5 is here and negative 8 will be here. And then when it is 1, we have negative 1.9, so it will be somewhere here. 2 is positive 0.5, so it's going to be here. And then the same way we'll plot all the other points. And now we have to join them into a smooth curve. So this is how your graph will look like after you join the points together. Let's read the next question. Use your graph to solve the equation x cube over 8 minus 2 over x square is equal to 0. This is what we have plotted and it equals to 0. It means when it cuts the y-axis. So this is where it cuts the x-axis. The point here is 1.7. If you have the answer between 1.7 to 1.8, it will be accepted. So x is equal to 1.7. Next, again the same equation is given, is equal to k, and k is an integer. Integer means a whole number. It could be positive or negative. Write down the value of k when the equation x cubed over 8 minus 2x squared is equal to k has one answer. So we can write any integer where the graph cuts the y at one place only. If you look at the graph here, if I draw a straight line from a y value, I will get one answer only. So you can choose any. You can choose -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They are all accepted. So your k can be any value which you choose. I'm writing 1. But you can write any value which is more than or equal to -1. Then the next one, it has 3 answers. It means it will cut the graph. If I draw a line from any y value, it will cut the graph at 3 places. So here, see, if I draw a line here, it will cut at 3 places, 1, 2, and 3. If I draw a line here, here, or here. So any value between -2 to -5 will give me 3 answers. I'm writing k is equal to -2. But k can be any value between and included -2 and -5. E. By drawing a suitable tangent, estimate the gradient of the curve where x is equal to -3. Tangent means you draw a line that touches the curve at that one point. So our tangent will touch the graph at x is equal to -3. -3, x is equal to -3 here. Let's draw a line here. So I have drawn the tangent here, touching at the graph at x is equal to -3. Now to find the gradient, we need to use the formula for the gradient, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. We need to find 2 points. You can choose any 2 points. I'm choosing this one because it's easier when your x is 0. So the first point is 0 and 5.5. The next point I'm choosing is this, where my y is 0 and my x is -1.8. So this is my y, which I will write first, 5.5 minus 0, and this is my x. So it's 0 minus 1.8. And I will get the answer 3.05. I'll round it to one decimal, which is 3.5. So the gradient is 3.1. But your answer can be anything between 2.5 to 4. They are very lenient with that. You just needed to know how to draw the tangent and the gradient formula. Next, by drawing a suitable line on the grid, find x when x cubed over 8 minus 2 over x squared, that is our first equation that we have already plotted, is equal to 6 minus x. 6 minus x is the new line that we have to draw. So we have y is equal to 6 minus x. The first you should try, and this is the easiest way. If this works, then you don't need to find any other point. In place of x, put 0. So when x is 0, you will get y is 6. That's your first point. 0 and 6. For the next point, we need 2 points to plot it. If I substitute in place of y 0, I will get x is equal to 6. But as I can see here, I do not have x is equal to 6. I have only till +3. So I will take an other value. I will take 3. So when x is 3, what is the value of y? 3. So these are the 2 points that I have, 0 and 6 and 0 and, 3 and 3. I'll just erase it. I hope you understood what I did here. One time in place of x I substituted 0 and I got y is equal to 6. That point is on the y-axis. When x is 0, y is 6 is here. Then in place of x I put 3. When I substituted 3, I got y is equal to 3. So when x is 3, y is 3. That's 1 point here. I can draw that line now. And let's see where it cuts the graph. So this is the tangent, the line that I have drawn, y is equal to 6 minus x. It cuts our graph at 2.9. So x is equal to 2.9. Again, you have been given the range from 2.85 till 3. Next, the equation x cube over 8 minus 2 over x square is equal to 6 minus x can be written in this format. Find the values of A, B, and C. Let's write down the question. To write it in one equation, we need to have a common denominator. So I'm going to multiply by 8 here. If I multiply in the denominator, I have to multiply in the numerator also. And here by x to the power of 2. This will give us x to the power of 5. Whenever we have the same base and we multiply, we add the powers. And 2 multiplied by 8 is 16 over 8x square. Because they have a common denominator, I can write it as a simple singular fraction. And then now we are going to, sorry, I wrote this wrong here, 6 minus x. Now we will move this to the other side. So you have x to the power of 5 minus 16 is equal to 8x square bracket 6 minus x. We will expand the bracket. 8x square multiplied by 6 will give us 48x square. And 8x square minus x, we are going to add the powers. So 2 plus 1, 3. We have to bring everything on one side. So we will have x cube. When I bring this to the other side, it will become positive 8x cube. This will become negative 48x square minus 16 is equal to 0. We arrange the powers in descending order. So 5, 3, 2, and then the number. Now we need to know what is A. A is the coefficient of x square, the number before x cube, which we can see is 8. B is the number before x square, which is negative 48. And C is the number without x, which is a constant. It's negative 16. So that is our answer. Question number 6. We have been given a cumulative frequency diagram. There are 300 students in group A. The teacher records the distance d meters each student runs in 1 minute. So this is the distance and the results are shown in the cumulative frequency diagram. Let's read the first question. Find the median. To find the median, we use the formula median is equal to half of frequency. This will give you your cumulative frequency and then you have to find the corresponding distance on the x-axis. So we have 100 students. So half of 100 will give us 50. 50 is here. Draw a line and see where it touches the graph at this point here. So what is this point? If you will see between 200 to 300, there are 20 small squares. So what is the value of each square? 5. How do we get that? 300 minus 200 is 100. And there are 20 squares, so we divide it and we will get 5. So each one square is 5, so each two squares is going to be 10. This is 50, 250, 260, 270, and 280. So the median is 280 meters. Then we have to find the upper quartile. To find the upper quartile, we are going to find 3/4 of the frequency, and that will give us 75. 75 is on the cumulative frequency axis, that's the y-axis. So it's going to be somewhere here, and now we have to find the corresponding x value. I've drawn the line at 75, touching the graph. Now the corresponding distance on the x-axis we'll draw, that is here 4 squares. So we know that each square is 5, so 20. 320 is your upper quartile here. And then you have to find the interquartile range. To find the interquartile range, we will use the formula upper quartile minus lower quartile. We already have found our upper quartile, and to find the lower quartile, we will find 1/4 of the cumulative frequency. That will be 25, which is going to be here. Let me draw a line there. This is the line I've drawn. Now the corresponding distance will be here. So we have 210, 20, and 30. Lower quartile is 230. So the interquartile range can be found using upper quartile minus lower quartile. Our upper quartile was 320, lower quartile is 230. Therefore, 90 is our interquartile range. Next, the number of students who run more than 350 meters. Now we have to look at the distance. 350 is here. So we'll draw a line from 350 touching the graph. And then we'll find the corresponding cumulative frequency. That's 90. So these are the number of students that run more than 350 meters. So that is 100 minus 90. That will give us 10. So 10 students run more than 350 meters. Moving on to part B. There are 100 students in group B. The teacher records the distance d meters. Each of these students runs in 1 minute. The results are shown in the frequency table, and we have to calculate an estimate of the mean distance for group B. To find the mean distance, we need to use a formula for group data. That is, mean is equal to the sum of the frequency fx over n. What is x? X is the midpoint of the class width. So you have 100 and 200 here. That's your group limits, and you have to find the midpoint. To find the midpoint, add the two numbers together. So it will be 100 plus 200 and then divide by 2. That will give you 150. That is your midpoint. That is your x. And then f is your frequency. These are your frequency. So the midpoint multiplied by the frequency, and the sign here means, the sigma sign means you have to add it. So you add all the midpoint times all the midpoint by the frequency, and then add all the values. Divided by n. N is the total frequency. The first thing we will do is find the midpoint of all these numbers. We add the two numbers and divide by 2. So I've written the midpoint of all the class width, and then I'm going to multiply them by the number of students. So 150 multiplied by 20, 300, plus 225 multiplied by 22 is 4950. Sorry, this is 3000. And that's 265 multiplied by 30, 7950. 300 multiplied by 16 is 4800. And 360 multiplied by 12, 4320. So to find the mean, I'm going to add all these numbers together. 7,950 plus 4,800 and divide it by the total frequency. What is our total frequency? 100. And our mean is 250.2. This question is very often repeated. You should learn it very well, practice a few more questions similar to this, and you will guarantee your 4 marks. Part 2. Complete the histogram to show the information in the frequency table. This is our frequency table, and to complete the histogram, we need to find frequency density for each of these class width. How do we do that? We use the formula frequency density is equal to frequency over class width. The first bar has been drawn for us. For the second bar, to find the frequency density, frequency is 22 and class width is the upper limit minus the lower limit. So 250 minus 250, this will give you 0.44. Before we draw, we need to know what is this each square, the value of each square. To find that, we will take 0.2 and divide by 5 because there are 5 lines and you will get 0.04. So each line that you are adding, you have to keep adding 0.04. So let's start drawing the bar. First, you will see this is 250. Where is 250? Here. And then your frequency density is 0.44. You have 0.4 here and you will add 0.04. So 0.44 is going to be here. That will be here. Let's draw the lines. That's our second bar. For the third bar, frequency is 30 and our class width is 280 minus 250, which is 30. So frequency density is 1. This is 1 here. So we will draw a line. And it is still 280. This is 250. 280 is here. That's our third bar. Now to find the next one, the fourth one, we have frequency as 16 and the class width is 320 minus 280, which is 40. So 16 divided by 40 is 0.4. And where is 320? This is 300, 310, 320. 0.4 is here. So we completed our fourth bar. Now for the fifth one. 12 divided by 400 minus 320 is 80. So 12 divided by 80 will give us 0.15. So as we know that each line here is 0.4, so the first one will be 0.4, 0.04, sorry, and then 0.08, 0.12, 0.16. So it's going to be a little less than that, around here, till 400. So that's our fifth bar. I hope you understood how to do this. It's not really very difficult. Next, part C. For the 100 students in Group B, the median is 258 meters. Complete the statements. On average, the students in Group A run dash than the students in Group B. We have been given the median, so let's compare the median of Group A. Group A, the median was 280. Group B, the median is 258. So when you subtract them, the difference is 22 meters. So on average, the students in Group A run 22 meters further than the students in Group B. This brings us to the end of this tutorial. For question number 7 onwards, watch part 3. Kindly subscribe to my channel, like the video and share it with your friends.